He and I recently accepted a position as a technical media producer and a part-time weather forecaster. I will graduate in May with a degree in broadcasting and a minor in meteorology. With a minor in meteorology, I learned a lot about different kinds of weather and how to predict the weather. A weather prediction is an educated guess of what the weather will be like in an hour, a day, or even a week from now. Since weather is constantly changing, our educated guesses are constantly changing as well. That explains why sometimes weather forecasters on TV are wrong. The weather pattern may have changed since we last did an update.
And that this pot of water is a lake. This is where the water is evaporating from. The water is collecting to form a cloud in the sky. In this case, the cloud is the white towel above our pot. Once the cloud gets too heavy to hold any more water droplets, it releases the water back down to earth where the water recollects in many different bodies of water.
I was like, what does evaporation mean? And I'm like, okay, I want to watch it and see what it means. Maybe it works like this.
Where does our water evaporate from? Our water evaporates from all sorts of different places. Puddles on the sidewalk, streams, rivers, the ocean, and even from out of the ground. Evaporation is the process of turning a liquid into a gas. What is condensation? Condensation is water that collects together as droplets. This forms clouds. Clouds stay together until the water droplets become much too heavy in the cloud, and they begin to drop back down to the ground.
One of the big misunderstandings a lot of kids have is that the water cycle is all about rain. That's not true. Rain is one of the many things that the water cycle produces. Hail, snow, ice, sleet, and freezing rains are all other different types of precipitation you might hear about from the weather person.
What types of precipitation are there? There are all different kinds of precipitation. Rain, hail, snow, and sleet are just some of the forms of precipitation that come from clouds. Where does the water collect once it has fallen? The water collects all over, back into the rivers, streams, and oceans. It creates new puddles on the ground that seep back into the soil, and it even collects in man-made fountains. Water can collect together almost anywhere. The water cycle is one big system of recycling the water so that we can use it over and over. Water is consumed by animals and by humans. We need water for our toilets, for our showers, to wash our dishes, and so many other things.
The water cycle is a never-ending cycle of water being recycled through our atmosphere. The sun is the power behind water cycle. The heat from the sun causes evaporation and turns a liquid to a gas when it rises into the sky. As the water vapor cools in the atmosphere, it forms clouds. This is condensation. The water falls from the sky in many different forms of precipitation when the clouds become too heavy. As the water falls to the earth, it collects in a variety of places: the ground, lakes, rivers, oceans, and the process for those water droplets begins all over again. I bet one thing you didn't know about weather forecasting is that all the information from weather satellites and different types of radar machines is all shared on one giant database that all weather forecasters have access to. Predicting the weather is a big job, and no one can do it alone. That is why forecasters from all over America work together to figure out what is happening nationally and what is coming locally.
Oil isn't a water product. Well, it is a water product, but it doesn't evaporate. Not that I think of.